What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. And this flight may sound like a really boring idea, and to many of you it might be, but Brad and I just got back from the airport doing this exact thing. We were in an A36, so airframe-wise, identical to this plane, just different avionics. And we did some air work. First time Brad has ever stalled the plane, and it was pretty interesting. So we're gonna go up in this and see how the modded G36, the community mod G36, mimics the real-world stall characteristics of the Bonanza B36 platform. The other thing is, today was the first day that I got to experience the runway 2 left and 2 right at John Wayne, so the reverse flow from what it usually is. It's usually always 2 zeros. So that was really, really cool, and I'm going to try on Pilot Edge to request that. Technically, it's up to the controller. You can ask whatever you want, and it's up to the controller to give you permission or not to do that. So if it works with their traffic flow, hopefully we'll be able to get that request. I don't know if it's going to work or not, so I'm going to brace for disappointment, but let's see how accommodating Pilot Edge is tonight.
Good night, thanks a lot.
John McGround, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo with request.
Number 4 Lima Echo, John Wayne Ground.
John McGround, we'd like to request departure from 2 right, crossing over at Hotel, if that works for your flow. Bonanza 204 Lima Echo.
November 4 Lima Echo, if you've ever gotten that approved in the real world, I would be shocked. Let me know when you're ready for taxi. You can expect runway 2 right.
Alright, we'll expect 2 right, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo. And they do approve that in the real world too every once in a while.
It's crazy.
It's John Wayne. We do a lot of crazy stuff. Right? I mean, we have proof right here. We have the John Wayne, the real world, actual real life John Wayne controller right here. Early in the morning, granted early in the morning, but if winds are calm, Flying Monkey, if winds are calm and it's dead, you know, are you going to say no?
John Wayne Ground, Seminole Charlie Golf Mike Whiskey Tango on the west apron near Foxtrot.
Probably.
Ready for taxi IFR with Foxtrot.
Charlie Golf Mike Whiskey into John Wayne Ground, number 20 right, taxi via Bravo Kilo.
20 right, Bravo Kilo, Charlie Golf Mike Whiskey Tango.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Jump.
Fonzo Jeff, why don't we do that at San Bernardino?
Number 503 Alpha Mike, thank you. Turn left heading 080, vector visual approach.
080 left, Fonzo Jeff.
Jumping Tower Bonanza 204 Lima Echo, holding short 20 right at Hotel.
Number 204 Lima Echo, John Wayne Tower, runway 2 right, taxi via Hotel, cross runway 20 right at Hotel.
2 right, crossing 20 right at Hotel, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo. Okay.
Approaching runway 02 left, 20 right. Entered runway 02
All right, so we
left,
made
20
we made
right.
it work, which is cool. If we're north ops, you're going eastbound departure on the west side of the airport. Your departure point 20 right at Hotel. Yeah, which is what we got today, Flying Monkey.
Approaching
yeah, but I mean like
02 right.
Yeah, so this what just happened is what we had, what happened today. So we crossed at Hotel, departing on the 080. But the question is if it's normal ops, to request counterflow departure. And I know like it's requested in the morning for noise abatement, purposes, but I don't know if you'd really be able to pull off like a random, like, hey, if it's quiet, can we take off from the 2?
Frontier Flight 512, report the airport in sight. We have the airport in sight for...
It would just have to be really dead, which John Wayne is hardly ever
at Preno, cleared, visual approach.
So, okay, enough talking. Let's go see if we can stall this. If you're asking for opposite direction, then you're probably not going to get 2 right, but maybe. Yeah, I think it just comes down to how busy it is, right? John Wayne Tower, Bonanza, 204 Lima Echo, holding short, 2 right at hotel.
Number 204 Lima Echo, John Wayne Tower. Wind calm, runway 2 right, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 2 right, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo. Alright, lights, camera.
Approaching runway 02 right. Entered
Action.
runway 02 right. 2,800 feet remaining.
Okay. Alright, let's bring in the power. Looks good. Flying Monkey, it's freaking awesome that
Riverside Tower, Scott.
you're hanging out in here being able to give us that information. Whoa, rudders, okay.
Transit parking.
Number 521 Charlie Lima, turn left heading 010 to set a maintain
Here it is
6
coming up.
near the field in sight.
Turning on to our heading.
0 down to 6,000.
Careful of the buildings.
Number 521 Charlie Lima, turn your base abeam the stratosphere. Cleared visual approach, runway 1 and right.
Base abeam the stratosphere.
405 looks a little goofy. But yeah, this is just exactly what it looks like.
November 1 Charlie Lima,
It's so crazy, man. Oh my god, it's so crazy doing this.
Approach 19er.
A 348 Papa Delta, taxi to parking via Alpha, this frequency, good day.
Forgot to pull the prop back.
This frequency, thanks for the help, Papa Delta. John Wayne Tower, Seminole Charlie Golf Mike Whiskey Tango, holding short,
it's too
20
far.
right at Kilo, ready for takeoff.
Charlie Golf Mike Whiskey Tango, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right at Kilo, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Charlie Golf Mike Whiskey Tango.
November 204 Lima Echo, radar contact high altitude.
We're climbing through 1,000 Bonanza 4 Lima Echo.
4 Lima Echo, thanks, connect SoCal departure.
SoCal departure, Bonanza 4 Lima Echo, thanks for the help. Oh, they just got everything. I mean, this is all the photo geometry stuff, and it's just absolutely dead on. SoCal departure, good evening, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo, climbing through 1,500 restricted.
204 Lima Echo, SoCal departure, cancel altitude restrictions, resume on navigation.
Oh, Nav, we're going to be doing some air work at 5,000 initially, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo.
4 Lima Echo, Roger, would you like to maintain radar service that whole time?
Affirmative, yeah, we'll keep the code, maintain services for Lima Echo.
Roger.
Oh, it like gives me chills down my back. Like we were just doing this, absolutely just doing this like an hour ago, and it's so cool to be able to recreate this. You know, whether it's me flying or, you know, being a passenger or whatever, it feels like you guys are up there with me. You know, whether it's a, you know, streaming or, you know, viewers later on YouTube, it does feel like you guys are up there, because I know I'll at some form or another share the experience, but actually being able to come back home, fire up the computer and do a flight that I just got back from the airport doing is really pretty remarkable, and have it look like this. I mean, it's freaking crazy. Cool Camaro, happy Susan. So, like, it's... I don't know if it's because I just geek out about it so much that it, you know, I just turn into a total nerd. But it's amazing technologically that you know, we're able to do this stuff. God, it's so cool.
4,000.
It's so cool. So we'll see how.
Vegas Tower, November 521 Charlie.
We'll see how accurate this plane model acts stalling, which I'm really not going to be too.
521 Charlie Lima.
I don't have high hopes for that, honestly. Keep the cowl flaps open for a little bit.
November 902, correction, 904-247 to set a maintain.
It's good to stop and smell the roses. Of course, man. I enjoy it immensely. It's so much fun to do this. It's such an amazing program. And X-Plane too. It's not just limited to Microsoft. Like X-Plane too. I mean, I did this just all the way through my flight training, and it's just been such a huge part of my aviation career so far. Doing it in the real world, doing it in the sim, streaming it, sharing it with you guys. Just that whole combination has been my life as a pilot. Yeah, cowl flaps is cylinder temperature, if we have that. I don't really... Cylinder head temp. Yeah, they're fine. I mean, I just left it open because I didn't want to touch it, but they're closed now. None of that's going to be modeled with any accuracy, honestly. Yeah. Dude, we're just like just over this stuff. Oh my god, that's so creepy. So creepy seeing like Lake Mission Viejo and that little reservoir. It's just exactly what we just did, and it's freaking weird that you can do it in the sim like this. Okay, the first one, the first stall that we did was a very interesting maneuver, which kind of really only is applicable to constant speed prop complex airplanes. A constant manifold pressure at 15 inches to simulate being configured on the downwind and to see if it would eventually stall. And spoiler alert, my dudes, it does. It does. It does. So let's get the gear coming down. And that's going to decelerate pretty fast. Keep the power where it's at. And then manifold pressure is going to be at 15. And then just hold the altitude. Joey, yeah, this is the community modded Bonanza.
November 521 Charlie Lima, exit right, contact ground point 901 off.
No, this was just for
Right, going to ground.
For fun. Yeah, no, none of this was fogged up. All right, Cody's got it. Awesome. Thank you, Cody, for adding that. I'm gonna get up to 5,000. I dropped a bunch of altitude there. Holding altitude in the simulator is, for me, next to impossible. Okay, so there's 74. Let's get the flaps coming in. And then we're going to go to 15 inches.
November 521 Charlie Lima, Las Vegas ground, taxi, Foxtrot, Whiskey,
15
Hotel,
inches
parking,
and just hold.
Pass for the I-5.
Okay.
Frontier Flight 512, continue Alpha 6, cross runway 26, right.
Okay, stall horn came on a little bit later.
Continue on Alpha 6, cross runway 26, right on Alpha 6, contact ground on the other.
Yeah, it's about the same deck angle too.
Charlie Golf Mike Whiskey Tango, connect SoCal approach 127.4, good night.
127.4 Charlie Golf Mike Whiskey Tango, good night.
Whoa!
4247,
oh!
Panama Tower 118.6.
All right.
118.6.
She flipped on us. Wow. Not too far off. It went over on the wrong side.
Keep your beacon code. You're in Charlie.
On the different side.
You can remain this frequency.
Repeat code, remind us frequency 507.
Las Vegas ground, Frontier Flight 512.
Sweet. Okay, let's see if I can,
Delta Gate. Frontier Flight 512, Las Vegas ground. Taxi straight ahead, second right onto Charlie to the Delta Gate. Have a good one. Second right on Charlie to Delta
and
Gate.
let's see if I can do this with one hand here.
Tower 119er, Tower 94247, 2000, 3000.
November 94247, Panama Tower, my 24, clear to land.
Okay, so this is that same maneuver.
24, clear to land, 94247.
Whoops.
52. Whoa. Holy shit. Oh. Alright. Interesting.
I'm flying all over the place. There you go.
52. Whoa. Holy shit. Oh. Alright. Interesting. Wow.
Okay, so then here is clean.
Okay, I'll stop on the cancel the IFR. Does that mean
So there's a tail buffet.
or do I need to wait?
So let's get it slowed down here.
So the cancellation of IFR precludes me from clearing you for a visual approach. So if you cancel IFR and I don't impose any further altitude restrictions on you, then the altitude is at your discretion. But since you canceled inside of controlled airspace, I have to retain you on the frequency. If you were, south of San Bernardino, not inside the Charlie, then I could just terminate you and switch you to tower. Because of your location, I had to keep you. So you can navigate as if you were VFR at this
And that
time.
beeping that you heard, that was the gear horn too,
because
because we were clean.
Roger that. Appreciate the help as always. 502.
Which is probably that. Yep, gear up.
November 13 Whiskey. For segments of Victor 6-4 with high terrain, I'm going to need to give you 11,000 here shortly. But for now, climb and maintain 9,000.
I just have a nice little Michelob Ultra.
5 minutes.
I have a Pliny the Elder with my name on it that I have not decided when I'm going to enjoy that. Okay, so that's apparently stalling clean. Yeah, dude, Pliny is my jam. But yeah, the Michelob is actually not bad. We kind of moved away from Coors Light and are onto that, and it's pretty good for just like a regular light beer. So this is this is interesting. Let's get a little airspeed right over Kodo and see if I can pitch it up.
Up to 11000 for Skyhawk 13 Whiskey.
It just half stalls.
Tree Alpha Mike, keep your squawk code, contact right at Zeno Tower 119.45. Good day.
Items Tower 119.45.
Huh. Okay, so what we didn't do is a power on stall, because, well, I think we're probably going to find out why. The amount of power that this thing has, if you're full power in A36, G36 Bonanza, and stall it, you've done something really wrong. The climb out is 120 knots in this. So you really, and we were still flying at 60 there, and it did not want to break. So let's turn back to the north here and see what happens with full power. Dude, you should get after it, Cody. It's vodka, dude. I almost went for the vodka. Vodka Target Water was almost on tap tonight. Alright, let's slow it back down. So we'll do the first one clean.
November 94247, taxi to parking, the Alpha, remain this frequency, getting.
94247, taxi to park the Alpha, thanks.
Gonna get it nice and slow here. Okay. There's 100. That's, I mean, that's fine. This will still make it kind of fun. Doing power on stalls in the sim is impossible because you have no peripheral vision. This actually might spin. I'd hope Costco knows how good their stuff is. Yeah, it's so good. The their Scotch, Cody, is what I have. That's what I've been drinking is their Scotch. Call me Nelson. Thank you for following. Welcome. So this thing just full on wants to spin, which is, I guess, kind of fun. Okay, let's go gear down. Flaps coming down.
94247, just a quick request.
Yeah, we have like all Kirkland booze. It's freaking amazing.
94247. Yeah, for the most part, yep. That would be a good attempt.
And 94247, thanks.
All right, so there's full power.
Thank you.
There's 35 up. Yeah, it does. It like really wants to be violent. It really wants to be violent, man. Like, I'm gonna try that power on, but let's get some speed going a little bit. Let's see if we can do 120 and then go straight up power on, and see what happens. Because we can. This is a simulator, so why not? There's 65. Oh God. Just breaking all kinds of rules, but that is the good part about the sim. Right on. Okay. SoCal approach, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo. We're gonna head back to John Wayne, low level along the coast.
Number 204 Lima Echo, Roger. You want to go farther south than Signal Peak?
Yeah, affirmative. We're gonna head to Dana Point and then come up and actually go underneath and inbound from the pier, if that works. Bonanza 4 Lima Echo.
Oh, you want to come around to the other side of the pier? Okay, yep, that's fine. 204 Lima Echo. If you want to go around to the pier, that's fine. When able, proceed to the Huntington Pier and let me know when you're inbound the pier.
Alright, we'll let you know inbound from the pier, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo. We will be at 500 feet as well.
That's right.
Okay, sweet. So, that was not surprising, actually, that it was going to be different. What's up, Chris? So, you know, not surprising, and again, to revisit that footage here really quick. This is power on and dirty. And sorry for the vertical video. I'm gonna post this to Instagram.
Whoa! Holy shit!
The nose dropped really quick. That's what our reaction was. So then this is dirty. Oh, sorry, this is clean. Power off. So the power out. You can hear the gear horn. Yeah, so the actual you know, the spin, this is going to get kind of over my head a little bit, or out of my depth, I should say, maybe not over my head, out of my depth to talk about. But this was my interpretation of what happened. Now, Brad, who has a crap load of hours in that plane, and you know, over 2,000 hours in general, so the dude's an aviator, and it was interesting to him. I don't have that many reference points for it to be interesting. It was what it was. But the downwind configuration, which was gear down, flaps out, gear down, flaps down, with 15 inches of manifold pressure in there. So to kind of simulate, you know, being configured for landing on the downwind and forgetting to descend, is essentially what that was. Like, will the plane stall? Will it slow down in that configuration with that added drag? The answer was yes, it definitely will slow down and stall. And that's where it was just kind of flying, and then, you know, the pitch angle got pretty high to hold that altitude, and then it just goes boom, like the nose just dove right down. And instead of with like 172s, and I don't really know if I notice it as much in the Piper and the PA-28, 172 will definitely yaw a little bit more when it is starting to stall and brake. You know, you kind of dance on the rudder pedals a little bit. This didn't yaw hardly at all. It just rolled. So the pitch and then a little bit of roll. It didn't kind of like lead with its nose. You know, like as the one wing drags up, you know, it kind of pulls it a little bit. It didn't do any of that. It just like it just dropped its nose. So that was interesting. And then clean, the power off clean, which is the second clip. Power off clean, because the wing and the elevator are, you know, positioned where they are, and this probably is not the case for every low, or this probably is the case for every low wing, just in different configurations and speeds and pitches and whatever. But once we got into that that clean power off pitch angle, we were shadowing the elevator, and I'm wondering if that angle with the flaps up was more, you know, shadowed the elevator more than with the flaps down, and caused that flutter. But it was a really weird, I mean, it just kind of, you know, shakes a little bit. Not quite stick shaker amount of vibration, but it definitely does like buff it, and you feel it in your hand, which is cool to be able to feel aerodynamics working in that way. My first power on stall at 172, my CFI had to take controls to recover from the spin. Yeah, well, if you haven't yet, Cultivator, wait until your first solo power on stall. That'll wake you up big time, because you're so much lighter in that 172. The angle is like you're pointing straight up. It's pretty crazy. So it's good to come in much slower and then add power, rather than bust in there at, you know, like the normal 90 knots or whatever. Okay, so 26.8 is in there. It looks good. I think we should still have Foxtrot. Yeah, we still have Foxtrot. So as it relates to the sim, any air work like that has always been a major deficiency in the sim, and they really shouldn't be practiced or taken seriously, in my opinion. This is strictly opinion. In the simulator, no matter how real the flight model claims to be or feels to be or anything, it really is not going to be very close. I used to do, like, very, very early on, even knowing that, I would go through, I'd go through like some of the checklist items and not really care what the plane does at all. Like just not even, you know, just strictly going through the motions and barely even touching anything, you know, just like, okay, so, you know, flaps down, power back, pull up, hold the speed, and then it does a thing, and then, like, just to go through the motions of a training flight, like when I was really, really new to it. But it's still interesting to see, having done it in the real plane, and that's really where I think, as a flight sim real world crossover pilot, you can get even more useful information, is not going sim to the real plane, but going from the real plane to the sim, and you start to kind of become like a test pilot for the sim. You're taking the airplane in the simulator to its limit, which you've, you know, and whether it's semantics or not, but taking the plane to the limit, doing a power off stall in a 172 or something is not really test pilot territory, but you know, doing something in the real plane, seeing how it reacts. You know, you've got your CFI there. You know, you're feeling the sensation of it. You're seeing what the plane does, how it reacts. Hopping into the sim, doing the same inputs, flying all the same speeds, all the same, you know, input control. You know, back pressure. You got the power out. You know, I mean, as much as you can replicate what you've done in the real plane, and then seeing what it actually does. That really helped me to compartmentalize what the simulator is good for and what the real plane. I was gonna say what the real plane is good for, but that doesn't even. That's not really even that accurate either. But just what the simulator is useful in recreating, and in this case, it really is the procedural stuff, the checklists, the cockpit flow, the radio communications, all that stuff. The actual air work, we did, you know, I mean, you could see the back-to-back footage. You know, it was kind of small. Hopefully it was, you know, easy enough to see. But you can see there that the plane didn't spin. We had the same exact inputs, same exact speeds. You know, the plane was configured in the same way. So theoretically, if they flew exactly the same, they would have done the same thing, and they did not. You know, one broke to the left into a half spin, the other one broke to the right in a half spin. The real plane dropped down, banks to the right a little bit, and you know, you're recovering pretty quickly. And there was nothing that I could do. We did how many? 4 or 5 stalls there, and there was just no getting away. I mean, I was like, I tried full opposite rudder, full same side rudder, even to get it to spin. You know, elevator neutral, ailerons neutral. Like, I mean, just, it wasn't going to not do that spin that it did in the sim. So now you know that whatever configuration you have the plane in, if you're doing stalls or you're trying to get into a spin, don't take that information to the real plane because it's going to be not accurate. Sirius John, welcome aboard. Happy Tuesday. I am great, man. How are you doing?
SoCal approach, that's 9693, Quebec, 5,500.
November 9693, Quebec, SoCal approach Ontario, altimeter 3019er.
3019er, 9693, Quebec.
So very, very interesting. I'm happy that we did this because it's super cool to see. And obviously it was a very fun flight to do on top of that.
023, spit visual approach, runway 318. If you'd like anything else, let me know. I can accommodate most anything.
Alright, 3023 and the visual for which runway?
31 right.
Visual for 31 right is just fine, 1306.
SoCal approach, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo, 500 feet over the pier, inbound John Wayne Foxtrot.
204 Lima Echo, connect John Wayne Tower 126.8.
26.8, Bonanza 4 Lima Echo. Chris, yeah, we have to do one soon, man. Flight Simerica, welcome aboard. John Wayne Tower, good evening, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo 800 inbound from the pier, information Foxtrot. We are full stop.
204 Lima Echo, John Wayne Tower. Hello, do you have a runway request?
We'd love 2 left if it's possible for Lima Echo.
Anything is possible in Orange County. For 204 Lima Echo, left base, runway 2 left, clear to land.
Left base, 2 left, clear to land, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo. Much appreciated. So, okay, if you're just joining here, John Wayne was running the 2s today. So, in addition to stalling Bonanza for the first time, I also got to experience the 2s. We departed 2 right and landed 2 left, and it's really weird. Really, really, really weird. Most of the country, yeah, most of the country, you're going to have an airport that is going to change directions, going to change runway directions based on the winds, and the winds are going to be variable and change, you know, throughout the day sometimes. Even the big Bravos will change runways daily in the afternoon. The coastal cities, though, you've got coastal breezes, you know, coastal winds coming off the ocean, and John Wayne in particular always is on the 2 zeros. So the winds are coming off the ocean 2-0 all day long, except when we have Santa Ana events where the winds are coming off the desert, and then they go into reverse ops. Usually that also brings along with it not only winds from a different direction, but also high velocity winds and very gusty winds. So generally speaking, if they're running the 2s, light GA planes are not flying because it's very turbulent, high winds. They're seasonal. Yeah, they are seasonal. But within the season, they're kind of random. There's not like, you know, it's usually fall and spring. You'll hit them. AJ, welcome aboard. This is a Bonanza G36. So we've got gear is down, flaps. So yeah, it's seasonal, but it's not. And I guess that is the definition of fall and spring. But they just kind of pop up every once in a while within those seasons. Okay, lights are all good. Mixture is, mixture coming full rich. That's probably fine. Prop, we'll leave that the same. We're at 16 knots. So yeah, when they're running the 2s, it's usually pretty hazardous for small airplanes, you know, small GA airplanes to fly. So I don't really get that many opportunities to fly when they're going reverse flow. When the winds are relatively calm, and the winds were calm. They were light and variable when we left, and they were calm when we got back. There was some funky aloft stuff happening that we suspect was the reason why they were going reverse ops. So that is, again, we got full flaps are full. Sorry, I'm like trying to look at my airspeed here too. You know, an airport never runs a certain, yeah, it's called reverse ops. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's so weird looking, man. It's so weird. So the point of this being weird, which is what I was getting at, is that it's just an airport that you're leaving the same way every time. That's just like you're landing and taking off 2-0 left and right. And when you do get that chance to finally even see it, because that's the other thing too, is it's not just as a pilot operating out of the airport, it's seeing airplanes running the same way all the time without you know, just it's running the same time. Oh, we also did a 180 on the runway and had like back taxi on the runway, which was pretty funny.
Hello. Top the ground.
Johnny Tower, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo. We are clear to left at Foxtrot, and we are parked at Baker Street.
That was almost a fantastic guess. That's hotel. Taxi to parking via Bravo and monitor ground.
Bravo to parking. We'll monitor ground. Bonanza 204 Lima Echo. Even the taxiways are weird coming from the other direction.
I knew you were confused.
It's like, I have no idea where I'm at. I have no idea where I'm at. So, I mean, this is my home airport. I know this airport like the back of my hand, right? And just like, it's just like being at a new place. It's being someplace different. It's so weird. And, you know, so when you're training, when you're a student pilot and you're cranking out landings, you're doing touch and goes, you're doing the same thing, you know, so there's just like this flow to John Wayne that is just, that is unique in that it's the same. It's unique that it's uniform, if that makes any sense. Don't mind my parking job. So when you finally get, you know, a plane flying in the other direction at low level, like today I was walking to my car, and I had no idea what the weather was doing when we were going to the airport. Then I'm walking to the car, and I see this 172 flying over, like in the other direction. I'm like, where's that guy going? And I was like, oh, I wonder if we're reverse flow. And sure enough, you know, I check flight radar, and you know, there's an airliner, you know, on approach for 2 left, and it just like freaks my brain out. I'm like, oh crap, this is weird. It's like being at a new airport because you're just so used to seeing it from one direction. You know, whereas if you're in some, you know, quiet delta in the Midwest, you know, you might have a runway change in the middle of doing pattern work. You know, some of you might have had that experience where you're mid pattern work, you know, you're doing 10 touch and goes for an hour, and halfway through they switch runways on you. There's no chance of that happening really as a GA pilot. Obviously it does and has before at John Wayne, but it's, you know, it comes with 30 knot gusts coming in from the desert. Now imagine how unusual it is from my side when I'm programmed to say and do things 1,000 times a day for 20, and now I have to do it for 0-2. Yeah, that's there's that guy going. This 172 flying over, like in the other direction. I'm like, where's that guy going? And this 172 flying over, like in the other direction. I'm like, where's that guy going? Thank you, Shane. Yeah, and that's so Flying Monkey again is a tower controller at John Wayne, and we love him. He's one. I mean, John Wayne, I am like super biased. Obviously, this is some of Flying Monkey's work here.
128.1 for 906 Quebec.
That is way too quiet. You couldn't hear that at all.
Whiskey to center maintain 905.
Ah, it's you guys again.
And then here's another one.
Cleared for the option. Clear.
So all day long, those guys are saying 20 left via Bravo Lima, or sorry, 20 right Bravo Lima. Taxi 20 left via Alpha Hotel Bravo Charlie. Is that right? Yeah, Alpha Hotel Charlie Kilo. Man, it's been a while since I've been on that side. But they say that all day long. Alpha Hotel Bravo Kilo. Alpha Hotel Bravo. No, Alpha Hotel Charlie Kilo. Alpha Hotel Charlie Kilo. Alpha Hotel Charlie Kilo. Got it. It really has been way too long since I've been on that side. But they say that all day long. All day long. And then because you start with the same number even. So it's like 2, your brain wants to say 0, and it's 2, I even have to think about it. 2 right via Alpha Hotel. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, taxi 2 left via Bravo Echo?
No,
Like it doesn't, it
this
just...
is Cirrus 5550 golf.
Runway 2 right, taxi via Alpha Hotel, Charlie Kilo. Yeah, that would be an adventure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's just like I mean, it's they're repeating those same things every single day, you know, for a span of 7 months maybe. And then all of a sudden one day it's 2 left, 2 right. Like your brain would just I don't know. Yeah, Chris, that green Cirrus was pretty nice, wasn't it? Okay, so there's my little flight debrief. That was a quick one. For you on the west side, going east, I'm going to give you 2 right via Bravo Hotel, hold short 2 left. What is that shit? Yeah, do you guys use 2 left at Echo like you would 20 right at Kilo? Oh, that's a good question. I've seen actually a lot of guys intersection take off for 2 left, the GA guys. I don't know if I was just that day that I saw it a couple of times. I don't know if that's pretty accurate. But I've seen a lot of intersection takeoffs. Especially when the winds are really heavy, and if you have a 20 knot headwind taking off at Foxtrot or whatever. I don't even know those. I don't even know what those taxiways are on that other end. Yeah, Foxtrot. You could take off at Foxtrot or even Gulf. If you take off at Gulf, that gives you more runway than 20 left, 2 right, or whatever. It's more runway with a substantial headwind. Now that is a very risky thing to do when you have, you know, you should not start with runway behind you. Gamer Pete, welcome aboard. Usually you turn to the north on departure. 20 left is the same on the 2s. See, not usually, because Echo is further from Delta than Kilo is from Lima, which means it isn't the same intersection rule, which means holding for wake turbulence. Got it. Okay.